Moving swiftly on to what's always a fascinating race. It is the Brown Advisory, formerly the RSA, our Sun Alliance Chase, and Jerry Colom, your 15-8 favourite at the moment. 9-2 the Real Whacker, 5-1 Sir Gerhard, 11-2 Time Hill, 6-1 Gallard de Manil, 12-1 Ramirez, and 14-1 Bar. Right, Dean, have you a strong opinion on the Brown Advisory?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I think the best bet of the week's probably in this, but it is a tricky way to kind of go around. You've got to get your head around the idea that Jerry Colom is too short and probably not one to bet. But I make this a 2-horse race, right? And 1 super value. That's the way I look at it. So like Sir Gerhard is unbackable for me. I wouldn't fancy him to get round, to be honest. And I imagine they will go here. And the Ballymore he won was got an absolute freebie as well. There's question marks there. So I'm happy to move past that. I think the Real Whackers be a good story. Paid very little attention to that form line though with Thunder Rock. And Jerry Colom and him are reasonably closely matched through that run. So Gallard de Manil won't go. So Time Hill is the one. I think I've napped him on this preview night a few years in a row. One year he missed it. One year he got done by magic from Danny Mullins, which was unfortunate. And I think this year is Redemption Day. And I imagine what we saw at Kempton was the real Time Hill. We had a blip in between. His Stale Day is the one that's been there and done it, got the T-shirt. I think he's savage value, to be honest.
And do you know what? I agree with you.
That's what I like.
I agree with you. I'm a Time Hill fan. Micheál Nolan, is that an issue?
I think it's straightforward enough. Yeah. Dickie used to get into issues with the horse before. I thought Tommaso O'Brien only finally worked him out, but I think he's straightforward. Micheál Nolan will be fine.
Okay, fair enough. Time Hill for you, Time Hill for me. What for Jamie Benson?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have a strong opinion on the race, if I'm honest. I spoke about Ramillies earlier, and if he doesn't go to the 4 miler or 3 mile 6er coming here, I'd like him again. I think you can look down for some bigger prices on the day. I think that Jerry Colom will go off a very short order, and he's hard to knock. Other than I just have a niggling feeling he might not be that good, but
could be a problem.
But it's based on quite literally zero information.
Okay.
It's
a gut.
It's just a gut. But I don't think you necessarily need to be that good to win this race. So I'd be interested to hear what the team has to say, really.
Okay, fair enough. Diarmuid, Jerry Colom, are you a fan?
Oh yeah, he's one of the best bets of the week in any man's courtesy. I mean, Time Hill has had one good run over fences, and it was against McFabulous, and the horse in third was 135 rated yoke around Kempton. He's a horse that started chasing way too late. The Real Whacker is a lovely story, but he hasn't been beaten anything. Sir Gerhard on ability is definitely there, obviously, but just one start and he jumped appallingly that day. Really, really bad. I think Jerry Colom, I don't understand why people... I know going into the season, even I was saying it, caveat here is I've adored this horse since day one. I put him up last year for the Albert Bartlett. I was really big in him, and he obviously didn't run that day. But I'm on him at decent prices as well, so that is a caveat.
What's the biggest price you're on it?
Only about 8-9 to 1, nothing massive. But I just think he's excellent, and he's put to bed. At Christmas he won over 2 miles 3 furlongs, beating Adamantly Chosen, who's franked that form since when a blinder behind Mighty Potter. He then went off to Sandown and won in good ground over a trip that was too short for him, jumping so well that he kept himself in that race. Balco Coastal maybe isn't a top of the range grade one, but he wouldn't be able to place in a race like this. And even the way Nicky Henderson was talking about him today, they don't think he's dirt by any means at all. And he was good enough and quick enough to win on good ground. And yet there's still pundits around the place saying that this horse needs bad ground. He's proven to us. Literally, we watched him do it. And he jumps unbelievably well. He stays really well. He handles any ground. And this race, he's head and shoulders above this race. I think he's, I can't see any angle as to why he'd be out of the tree, at least. And I just think he wins. I think he wins all day long.
You're very harsh on Time Hill, I think.
I think he's a very good horse. He started chasing way too late. He's won one race beating McFabulous.
Third in the bumper, fourth in the Albert Bartlett with Monkfish, which he should have won.
No, he's very good, but he should be in the Stayers hurdle.
And he should have won. He'd win the Stayers this year as well. I agree.
He'd go well.
I agree.
Yeah, he should be.
I hate it when Mummy and Daddy argue.
Beautiful English accent.
That was really good.
He's finished, yeah?
Yeah, done.
I agree with all your points. Fair enough, he could be the real deal, but I'd be far more worried about the ground than you are. I think he's a much better horse on.
But at Sandown, do you not think that
there
dispelled
was
the fate?
plenty of cut in the ground at Sandown.
You wouldn't see those horses in the betting in this race, though.
Sheldon won't go off. Good job.
Not much rain forecast. Don, Brown Advisory.
Yeah, no, I agree with a lot of what Dermot said, actually. And look, if the caveat is if Ramillies goes here, I'm interested in him. If Banbridge...
If what?
Ramillies goes here.
Oh, from me,
Yeah. If Banbridge was in this race, I'd be interested in him.
We're not even the first podcast of the
We'll
year.
come on to him later.
Okay. There's 2 non-runners you have to talk
Yeah.
about. Go on.
Good.
Just wasted 20 seconds on them.
Jerry Colombe, yeah, like before Sandown, I would have been very worried about the Grand, and I thought it was a kind of a strange decision to go to Sandown over 2.5 miles for the Scilly Isles on good to soft ground, and I thought he was very, very good that day. Balca Coastal looked like he had him beaten, and then he stayed on and got the better of him. And Balca Coastal, he's going for the Turners, I think, isn't he? The Grade 1
Turners,
race.
yeah.
So, you know, they think he's good enough, and Jerry Colombe, he's never been beaten in bumpers, hurdle races, chases. He's never been beaten, and the step up and trip. They were talking about him for the National Hunt Chase, but I think they maybe thought he was, you know, too good for the National Hunt Chase, so they're running him here instead. The Brown Advisory, and to me, stepping up and trip from 2.5 miles to 3, that will suit him really well. I'm a bit worried about the Grand, but I think that the Sandown run put a lot of those Grand worries to bed. Plus, he's stepping up and trip. It's an extended 3 miles here as opposed to 2.5 at Sandown, and Cheltenham's a stiffer track than Sandown as well, so plenty in his favour. Yeah, I think he's, you know, I know he's short, but I think he deserves to be short.
15 to 8 though, it's not that short. Do you think he potentially should be shorter?
Could. Shorter. Could.
No, I think it's probably about right because he's in, you know, there are the worries about the Grand, and he's never been to Cheltenham, and it's a novice chase at the end of the day. So I think 15 to 8 is about right.
Excellent. There we go. 15 to 8. Jerry Colombe. David, are you a Jerry Colombe fan?
Yeah, massive. He's well ahead of all of these. There's no doubt about it. I'd just be a small bit worried how lazily he ran, or maybe he didn't look in love with the game or something in Sandown. I hope Gordon's after freshening him up a bit because he's only a 7-year-old, and I just thought that was a bit early in his career for him to be doing that as a novice. You know, he hasn't really. I know there's 2 Grade 1s this year. He didn't beat much last year over hurdles, and I just thought it was very early for a horse to be running in his idle and maybe not as genuine as he should have been.
Okay. But do you think he's the most likely winner?
He definitely has all the ability in the world. Yeah.
Are you a Sir Gerhard fan?
No, not a Jeremy out of an authorised mare 3 mile over fences. No.
Fair enough. Mikey, Jerry Colombe.
He's a certainty bar Time Hill. Time Hill jumps, and he's gonna give him. He's
Not certainty. So.
Micheál Nolan have no problem with that. He'll know him from home. Tom O'Brien was excellent on him. Tom O'Brien is a brilliant rider. I think.
Tom O'Brien was really good in this horse.
I think Tom O'Brien rides a brilliant race in England. I think he's underrated over there, and if he had the firepower, he'd be one of the top men over there. What he did in Kempton that day, I know the race fell apart, but all you can do is win, and it was a bit of a wow factor out of it. And he was a length and a half off your man in the World Hurdle last year. He's still 9. Obviously, Jerry Colombe is the one to beat, but I couldn't back Jerry Colombe at that price, because if Time Hill gets into a rhythm, he probably will outstay him.
You like pronouncing the last letters, don't you?
Jerry Colombe, was it Jerry Colombe or what? Time Hill.
Well,
How do you pronounce it?
yeah,
Jerry Colombe.
it's the 2 L's in Hill I was on about, yeah.
Forget the B. Forget the B.
Jerry Colombe. Jerry Colombe.
What does it mean? What is it?
I have no idea, but it's Jerry Colombe. Yeah, it's not Colombe. No, I'm pretty sure of that. Of all the things, I'm not sure what's going to win the Brown Advisory, but I'm pretty sure it's not Jerry Colombe.
I'm calling it Jerry Colombe.
Right, you can call it Jerry Colombe. And you think he'll win?
Yes, only if Time Hill doesn't get into a good rhythm. I agree with you. He's not a good thing, like he's 15 to 8 favourite, but you couldn't be backing me up.
Sir Gerhard, are you not a fan either? No, gone at the game.
I just couldn't after the last day. No, it's this.
But he won the last day.
This is an absolute dour staying race. This is for a yoke now that just, you need to just stay, you know, in this.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not. I couldn't have that.
Couldn't have Sir Gerhard. Panel very negative on Sir Gerhard, but few votes for Time Hill then this end, but it is very much Jerry Colombe towards the latter side of the table.